Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a book review of a book called The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. So this book is a really interesting book and it basically teaches you how you should think about the concept of money and how you should basically psychologically perceive money. So, money and personal finance isn't just about earning money or investing money or saving money, but it's about how you psychologically perceive it and build your relationship with money in the first place. If you're living in the UK right now, it's a really interesting time to be reading this book because we're going through a bit of a crisis right now. So we're in a recession, we've had a energy crisis, we've had a cost of living crisis, and inflation is about 8 to 10% right now at the time of recording in December 2022. And so there's no better time to really improve your relationship with money. This book has about 20 different chapters in there, so that it's a mix of about 20 chapters considering a range of different things. But here are just the top 5 things that I learned from the book and that I'd like to share with everybody else. Lesson one from the book is all about setting realistic financial expectations. So sometimes, in the news or on social media or on TV, you see sporting icons like Ronaldo or Messi or Michael Jordan, or, you might see business icons like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, etc. And you want the financial success that they've got, or you want a very high level of financial success to match theirs, basically. You want the things that they have for yourself, right? And that's a very nice thing to be doing, and that's a very ambitious thing, which is always good. But it's very important to be setting attainable and achievable financial goals for yourself. Because sometimes when you set financial goals that are too heavy, they're too high, and you feel like you're not achieving them or you're not close to achieving them, it puts a lot of pressure on you, and as a result, you don't feel very good. You feel very sad, upset, and you feel like you haven't achieved a lot in your life. So making sure that you set good financial goals, setting goals which are achievable, attainable, that will help you out quite a lot as you get older and older in your life. The second thing is on social media, everything that you see might not actually be true. So sometimes on social media, you see a lot of people living a very luxury life. They're always on like boat parties and they own like mansions, and it seems like they're always in supercars and things like that. But it might not always be true. Sometimes you see these things, but those same people aren't actually very, very wealthy in life. For example, not always, but it can be the case. So, sometimes what you see on social media isn't really true. And so you shouldn't set your financial expectations according to what you see on social media. Lesson 2 from the book is all about the role of luck in success. So it's a really short lesson, but it's a very interesting lesson. And basically, it shows you that, there's a lot of luck in people's lives that lead them to a lot of success. So for example, earlier I mentioned in lesson 1 that Bill Gates is a big business icon, and everybody knows this. He's a billionaire, he made Microsoft, etc. And if you follow him on social media and like LinkedIn and places like that, we all know that he reads a lot as well, and he's got a great memory, and he basically retains a lot of what he reads as well. But basically, what a lot of people don't know about him is that he was one of the only people that went to a high school in America that had access to a computer. And so had he not gone to a high school that had access to a computer, maybe he would have never had the passion for, computer science or for technology, or for computers. And as a result, we may have never had Microsoft, and he may never have been a billionaire. So the point is that, everybody's life has different aspects of luck, and so we should just appreciate the value of luck in success. And so when you're trying to emulate the footsteps and the financial path of somebody else, it's going to be very hard because the role of luck in their life will be very different to the role of luck in your life. And so instead of trying to copy somebody's exact path for financial success, because it'll be unique for everybody, it's just important to copy some of the generic like values and concepts that they embody and try and like implement that in your life, which would be a good thing to do. The next lesson from the book is all about the value of compound interest. And basically, I did economics at Loughborough University, and we did a few finance modules where we learned all about compound interest. But an example from the book and from Morgan Housel, who's the author of the book, really brings this concept to life. And basically what he says was there was a janitor called Ronald Reed who, when he died, left a 7-figure sum to charity. The question is, how does a janitor leave a 7-figure sum to charity when he passes away? There's people who are in executive jobs and who are really, in high positions, earning a lot of money, who even when they pass away, they don't leave a huge amount of sums, to their families, let alone charity. And so how did a janitor leave this 7-figure sum to charity? And basically in the book, the answer is that this janitor spent a lot of time working, and what he did with all of the income he earned was he saved it in blue chip stocks, and over years and decades of his life, it basically compounded, and he ended up having a 7-figure sum that he left to charity. So it really shows you the value of compound interest and basically investing when you're young. The book also says that, Warren Buffett's fortune would have been a lot smaller had he started investing a lot later in his life. So instead of about the 89 billion or the 90 billion net worth that he has today, had he not, started investing as early as he did, And had he started investing at the age of 30 instead of at the age of 10, he would have had a net worth of 11 million instead of the 89 billion that he actually ended up having. So you can see that obviously 11 million isn't a small amount anyway, but it's very small compared to the 89 billion that he does have today, or close to that anyway. So as a result, it just shows you that you should invest as early as possible in your life to take advantage of the compound interest concept. But obviously it's important to note that that comes with like the highs and lows of the market. But yeah, you should try and invest as young as possible, basically, is the gist of the lesson. Lesson 4 from the book is all about the impact of humility in your life, and whether that's in your job or whether that's in any businesses you run. So sometimes in your life, some people feel that they're sometimes overqualified for certain jobs, and they've really spent time educating themselves to higher education, and so they're above certain jobs. But in my opinion, that's not really true. Like, there's no such thing as having a better job or a worse job, or a big job or a small job. And basically, you should treat all jobs with the same amount of respect, right? So sometimes you feel that you're overqualified for a job, and people are always waiting for that big opportunity that's coming for them. They feel like it's around the corner, but it might not be. It might be very far away. And so there's no shame in taking up a temporary job in the meantime to help you make ends meet, to help you save a little bit of income, and then to kind of help you gain some skills that you can then use in that big opportunity that you've always been waiting for. So being humble, making sure that you're having a high level of humility in your life and your personality is really great when it comes to helping you bridge those gaps between where you are now and where you want to be, and that big opportunity that you've been waiting for. So it's always good to kind of temporarily take up a job that can help you, bridge the gap, and then you can get onto those big opportunities later. The same is true when you're running a business. So sometimes, you feel like you've been asked to invest in a business, and you really like the idea of the business. You really think the concept is very good. And you really think it might be successful. But because you feel like you're bringing a lot to the business, you might ask for a higher stake in the business. And as a result, you might not end up investing if the person who's bought this proposition to you is not willing to give you a higher stake. But sometimes if you feel that you're really invested in the business, and you really feel that it's going to succeed, maybe it's worth just investing and being humble, and just, if you think it's going to succeed, why not take a chance in the business? This sometimes happens on shows like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, where the sharks or dragons get pitched a business, and then they don't invest because they want a high stake, only for another shark or dragon to invest. And then they find out later on that had they invested, they would have had a huge return on investment. So they only found that out afterwards, and you win some and you lose some. But it's important to remain humble and maybe just take a chance on that job or that business opportunity that you might not otherwise have taken a chance on. The fifth and final lesson that I'd like to share from the book is the fact that real wealth is actually invisible, and it's really nicely depicted in the book. Basically, real wealth is invisible and you can't see it. So sometimes, you see people that look like they're living a luxury life, where it looks like, they have really nice jewelry or really branded clothes and things like that. And you feel like, surely this person is extremely rich, and so they might be extremely wealthy. But however, this isn't actually the case, and vice versa. So if you don't wear, expensive jewelry, or you don't have lots of nice watches, or you don't have nice supercars and things like that, that doesn't mean you're not wealthy. So you can't actually judge how wealthy someone is depending on how they look or how they dress or how they appear. But real wealth is actually invisible. This is a really powerful concept, because what you want to focus on is building wealth and not just looking rich because of the possessions that you own. And so in the book, it shows, that real wealth is actually saved in all of the different ISAs and investment accounts and pension schemes and funds that you own. And you can't see them, that it's intangible compared to things like, having nice houses or having a nice car or just simply looking rich. So it's a really nice concept, and it's something that everybody should follow, because, building real wealth is what you want to be doing, and not just looking rich. And building real wealth helps you actually be free of financial struggles, and it gives you the option of buying all of those possessions that I was talking about. So it's important to build real wealth and not just look rich. Overall, those were just the top 5 things that I learned from the book. The book is really neat. It's got 20 chapters, as I was saying earlier. Those were just the 5 things that I really enjoyed reading about and that I wanted to share with everybody else. But overall, I would definitely recommend reading it to gain a overall picture of how you can improve your relationship with money and become more financially prudent, and really give yourself a strong foundation to be financially successful in the future and over your life. So yeah, if you gained any value out of this video, or you enjoyed watching it, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.